and welcome to your Yoga for Creativity flow. Today we're going to be focusing on opening up or nourishing the throat chakra. So we're just going to do a few poses that will really open up and let the energy flow through the throat, which can help with communication and self-expression. So if you're having a hard time expressing yourself, which is really bad for writers and creators, this flow should help. So we're going to start on the ground, seated for just a moment. If this is the first movement you've had for the day, it might be hard to even get into cross-legged position, so that's fine. But if you can get here, we'll start here. You can leave your legs out in front of you if you'd like. So just come into whatever seat is comfortable for you. We're really only going to be here to start to come into our breath and find our center before we start moving. We are going to be a little low to the ground today, so if you don't have a mat, just make sure you have some sort of softer surface that can cushion your joints. So we'll just start by taking a couple of deep breaths in through the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. And as you do, maybe just start to find your center, find a long and strong posture. Start to lift from the center, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. You can just let your hands fall wherever they feel comfortable. And each inhale, maybe you imagine stretching the top of your head toward the ceiling to invite some length through the neck and the spine. And with each exhale, just let go of anything that no longer serves you, that you don't need at this moment on your mat, and let the shoulders drop. And before we start to move, we're just paying attention to that head over heart, heart over pelvis alignment. So we're not, hunching forward or leaning to one side, but we're starting to come into a nice strong alignment to give energy a straight line to flow through. And if you can hear my voice kind of struggling, that can be a sign, actually, that can be a physical manifestation of a blocked throat chakra, a sore throat, losing your voice, anything like that. So perfect timing today. So we'll take one more inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. But of course, the throat could also just be allergies and the fact that it's nice and gloomy and rainy today. But we're going to start to make our way to our hands and knees, just slowly and carefully, holding on to your breath, holding on to energy and focus that you've started to bring to the center. Don't lose that. And when we come to our hands and knees, we'll just make sure that our wrists are aligned under our shoulders. Our knees are aligned under our hips. We still have that long length in the spine. You can even imagine now pulling the top of your head to something that's in front of you to keep that length in the spine. Press the tops of the feet into the mat, and we're gonna go ahead and move through a few cat-cows. So we'll inhale, pressing into the palms, pushing away from the mat, lifting the chin and the chest, pulling the shoulder blades away from the ears, lifting the pelvis, almost like it's trying to touch the back of the head. And then exhale, rounding the back, dropping the chin to the chest, again pushing away from the mat. And exhaling, letting it go. And inhale. You can start to move through these at your own pace with your own breath. Just with each inhale, lifting the chin and opening the chest. And with each exhale, letting it release, rounding the back. If one pose feels better than the other, you can stay there for a couple of breaths. Just let your practice kind of become your own. If you do feel like you're having some trouble expressing yourself, really stretch it through, open through the throat on this, on the cow pose. Just giving your throat, giving energy room to flow through the throat area. Take a couple more rounds here. Wherever you are, just start to even it out. And then we'll meet back at a nice neutral spine. Back to center. Maybe readjusting if you need to. If your knee or your wrists are getting tired, maybe roll them out a little bit. You also have the option to come up to your fists here, because we don't want any pain in the wrists. So if they are feeling a little sore right there, just come up to any pain in the wrists. If there is, come up to the fists. Lots of tongue twisters in yoga. All right, so from here, we're going to lift our right hand up out in front of us, and then we're going to lift our left leg and stretch it out behind us. So we're gonna have to really tighten up through the center here, pulling the belly button back toward the spine, trying your best to keep the hips even. It's gonna be really tempting to lift that left hip up. And then from here, keeping that tight core, tight center, trying to stay balanced over in our alignment here. We're going to start to move the hand and the foot away from the body, the hand to the right and the foot to the left, and back to center. So we'll inhale, move them out, away from the center, and exhale back to center. We'll just do this a few times. If you're shaking, it's okay, as long as it doesn't hurt. One more time, wherever you are. And back to center and release back to the mat. Kind of give yourself a little break. Move around as you need. That might have, if you were on your fists, now your knuckles might be yelling at you. And we're going to do that again on the other side. So we're going to press the right palm into the mat, or the right wrist, wherever, or fist, wherever you are. We're gonna lift the left arm up, reaching all the way to the front through the fingertips, and reach that right foot back, reaching through the heel, pressing through that right heel. Toes are pointed toward the ground. Sorry, I didn't mention that last time. And then inhale to move the limbs away from the center of the body. And exhale, bring it back. Keeping that belly button back toward the spine, engaging the core. Moving your own breath, with your own breath. One more time, wherever you are. And then back to center. And giving yourself a little break. Kind of moving around as you need. And then from here, we're gonna step the right foot back, and then the left, coming into a plank for just a second. Strong plank, long spine, stretching the heels back toward the mat, the head forward, shoulders away from the ears. Take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, lower everything, the chest and the belly to the mat. I didn't count on the microphone. Keeping the hands in line with the chest, the elbows pulled in toward the body, feet pressing into the mat. We're going to inhale up into Baby Cobra, lifting the chest and the chin away from the mat, pressing the hips and the tops of the feet into the mat, and release on the exhale, keeping those elbows pushing toward each other. They might be tempted to come out. You might have caught mine trying to do that. And then we're just gonna flow right there for a few minutes. We're gonna come up, inhale into Baby Cobra, opening the neck, lifting the chin, opening the heart, and exhale, release. Keep it moving almost like a wave. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, and exhale. And then we're just gonna keep the hands right where they are, and on one more inhale, I'm gonna stay where we are, but we're gonna lift almost a little more into a full cobra. So we're gonna inhale and really lift the chin away from, or the chest away from the mat, pressing up through the hands, but trying to use your back just a little farther than we did before. Holding, and exhale, release back to the mat. And then from here, we're just going to inhale where we are, exhale up into plank or tabletop, and then all the way through to our downward dog. It's our only one today, so we'll just take a couple of breaths here, pressing the heels toward the mat, but they don't have to touch. Me nodding the head yes, shaking it no, me walking your dog, pressing each heel into the mat and releasing. And then we're just gonna go ahead and give one more inhale here. And then an exhale, just drop the knees to the mat. And we're gonna make our way to our back. So we're just going to, however is comfortable, swing your legs around, bring them out in front of you, scooch your bum up, and slowly make our way to the back. We're gonna bring the feet toward the bum, hands down at the side, pressing into the mat. Feet pressed into the mat so the knees are bent. And we're gonna tuck the shoulder blades under the back here. And on an inhale, lift the hips away from the mat up into bridge. So the hip points reaching toward the ceiling. Lifting the chin, we don't wanna keep the chin tucked to the chest here, but open through the neck and the chin. And on the exhale, drop the hips back to the mat. Do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift the hips up into bridge. And exhale, drop the hips. Inhale, bridge, stretching through the, might be in the top of the thighs. Lifting the chin. Exhale, drop. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift the hips. Hip points reaching toward the sky. Maybe lifting a little higher here. And exhale, back to the mat. This time you can let the legs drop out in front of you. Releasing into corpse or shavasana. But from here, we'll leave it up to you. So you could stay in corpse pose or shavasana for 3 to 5 minutes or even longer if you want to really kind of soak in your practice. Or you can take that energy that you might still feel kind of flowing through the body and go get to work on a creative project. You can use one of the prompts at the end of this video here and grab that and go let the creative energy flow. So thank you so much for practicing with me today, warriors. Namaste. Now go fight for your creativity.
Great flow, warriors. Now it's time to take that energy and create. If you still need a little extra inspiration, just grab a creativity prompt to get the ideas flowing. And if you have a friend who's also fighting writer's block, make sure to share this video and don't forget to subscribe. Now go fight for your creativity.